Yeah, it's interesting what you say because, well, 15, as you know, perhaps just to remind a few things, and the way I remember, and
Hi, folks! Champagne Friday again! That was the longest again I ever said. Why did I do that? I really don't know. But one thing I know is that I love Dom Pérignon. And I normally hate team meetings, Zoom meetings, all these kind of things that was invented during the pandemic. But actually, they are good. That's one of the few things that was good with the pandemic. You could do tastings like you saw a little bit of when I and Vincent met this way. It's less than half the impact of a genuine meeting, of course. But if you taste the wine for the first time and you don't have the possibility to go and meet the person live, then it's so much better than sitting at home guessing what is his or hers genuine thoughts about wine. So I like it more and more, and especially when you can combine it with drinking the actual wines afterwards. And I would never dream of opening a P2 Dom Pérignon, just spitting it out and saying, go to the neighbor, things like that. Because they're too good. Especially the first time you taste it. It's that first time experience shouldn't be underestimated. It's so important when everything is new, all the details that you're searching for are much clearer than when you taste it the third or the fourth time. So what did we do? Vincent and me. We had a chat, of course, technical things. I won't bore you with that. Details of the taste. You would love to hear it, but you need to read it in the tasting library, which is very important. Become a member. Don't just watch these movies. Become a member. We need that. We're people working all day. We need some support from you on that if you like what we are doing. So read that in tasting library. But to simplify what we were doing is that we both agreed on the concept that I found one day together with Richard Geoffroy, who was the previous winemaker at Dom Pérignon. He told me one day in South Africa, while I was doing champagne hiking in French Hook, drinking the P2, that what he wanted to do, his dream of Dom Pérignon, is to skip the P1, to just have P2 and P3. Why? Because the P1s are, even if they are very, very good, they're tremendous champagnes, they're always some kind of previews in comparison to the P2, which is the perfect tension between the youth, the greatness that will become even greater in P3, but with less tension, less fruit, less drinkability, which we also like. So this combination, 15 is the most recent one. Yes, style-wise, a very warm, dry vintage, which gives almost exotic wine, softness and so. But there are some tension, which is similar to 03s, which you can read about. The other one, the 06, I loved it from the start, but it was slightly too exotic, too buttery, too round, without any details, any sharpness. It's gaining that with time. This extra aging gives this tension, gives these dark notes underneath the beautiful peacock's tail of exotic and citrusy notes. So the difference with sitting indoors and coming out here to taste them is actually mostly we have a special, very humid climate today. Climate, wrong. Humid weather today. Climate is in a long season, but today a very foggy weather, which gives very much humidity. Both these champagnes becomes much darker, much heavier, lacking a little bit of the fruit. I very often tell people to take anything and go outside and make hikings outdoors, and I prefer it in general. In this case, stay inside. They are both better to taste indoors today. Cheers, folks. See you next Friday.